Rick Robison. How do you pronounce that? Robison.
Yes.
I knew that was going to mess me up. Running for the mayor of College Station. So thank you for coming on Think Brazos.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. So we wanted to hear first a little bit about your background, who you are, and then why are you running for this position?
Well, my name's Rick Robison. I'm retired, and I have 32 years of government service, 6 years with the Army, and 26 years with the Federal Bureau of Prisons. And my background pretty much is security.
Okay.
And the reason I'm running for mayor is because I'm getting tired of all these high taxes in the community. Mm-hmm. And talking to neighbors and all that, I decided, well, it's time for new ideas and new leadership in the community. So that's why I'm running.
Okay.
To help the community out.
So I assume if you're talking about high taxes, you're not talking about sales tax, you're talking about property tax. So you're a homeowner?
Tax. Yes, property tax.
Mm-hmm.
Every year since I've been here in 2008, it seems like it keeps on going up higher and higher.
Right.
And especially you don't raise taxes in inflation.
Yeah.
That's
what some people say. Yeah, it's pretty tough out there. So beyond, is this something that you were thinking about doing for a while, or
No.
is it in the last year?
I have never got into politics at all.
Okay.
This is my first time.
Not even a school board or anything like that? Okay.
No, I just pretty much stayed out of politics.
Okay.
And it's until this year that I decided. Talking to a bunch of neighbors out in the yard, and everybody's saying about all these property taxes and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, you got to do something. You got to change everything.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what? I'll run. And you want to lower the property taxes? That's what I'm going to run on.
Okay. So why, I think there's a number of council positions as well that are open. Why mayor?
That's what my wife says. She thought I was going for council, but I said, well, go to the top. I go right to the top.
Okay.
I don't mess around with the little things.
Interesting.
Go to the top.
Okay. Have you, just curious, have you talked to any like previous mayors or anything like that about their experience and what it's like or anything like that?
Like I said, when I got here in 2008, I didn't even know anybody on the council or mayor.
Got it.
Of College Station.
Mm-hmm.
About a couple years ago, during the pandemic and all that, I didn't even know who still the mayor or council was. Kept on seeing this guy on TV, and it turned out to be the Bryan mayor.
Oh.
I'm like, wait a minute, who's that guy? And I found out it was a Bryan mayor. I'm like, now that's a mayor. He's supposed to be out there leading in that. Out front. Where's our mayor at? He's hiding. Not me. If I'm mayor, I'm going to be out in the streets. I'm going to be out with the police and all that. You lead from the front, not behind.
Yeah. So do you feel like, you said 32 years you spent in government service,
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit of it with prisons,
Yes.
law enforcement, or military as well.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that service is going to impact your serving for mayor if you're elected? How's that?
Well, one thing with the military and plus with the prisons, I was a supervisor in the prisons. I started out as an officer and then worked my way up to a supervisor. And I, as a captain and everything else, I managed the budgets and everything else. And I worked with all people from different departments. So a bunch of teamwork was conducted with that prison and with the military.
Yeah.
And so my leadership that I got from the military and the prisons would help me out with as mayor.
Okay. So I guess let's switch gears to housing affordability. You touched on it with homeowners with property taxes, but let's talk a little more broadly. It is from our vantage point, I work for Habitat for Humanity. We build in both cities as much as we can, but it is much harder to build affordable housing in College Station, and generally there's a perception that it's less affordable. Do you feel like there is still a place in College Station for low-income families, and why?
There's always a place for everyone to live. It doesn't matter where you're at, College Station, Bryan. It doesn't matter if you're low income or anything. I mean, you have a chance. That's why this country, freedom. You have a place. If you want to live in College Station, you can live in College Station anywhere. It doesn't matter. And I don't think government should be regulating who goes where and everything else.
Sure. But to push back a little bit, like I said, as far as the affordability, let's say you've got a single mom with 3 kids who is living in trying to find a place to live in Bryan College Station. More often than not, she may end up living in Bryan, even though she's working on campus. So she doesn't necessarily have 100% free choice here because of the affordability issue. So I think what I'm getting at is, are there, in your opinion, things that could be done at the local government level that could maybe give that single mom a better shot at living near where she works? And in this example, it would be somebody that works on campus, for example.
College Station is expensive.
Sure.
I mean, it's very hard for families to get a house and all that. I mean, you $450,000 or something like that.
Right.
But you would have to get land or something and talk with developers, and I mean, you got to sit down with them and say, okay, I'd like to have a low income project here. What can you do with me and everything else to make that happen?
Right.
And I mean, if you got a lot, 100 acres or something, and you got you want to split that land up and everything else, that'll be fine. I mean, but you got to sit down with those developers first.
True.
To get it out.
True. One of the things that a developer in that situation can often run into is not always is everyone happy with a low-income development going next to them. So that's a big thing that council and the mayor have to deal with.
Well, I mean, you got the residential and commercial land. So you got over here commercial land. Well, let's say, let's take that commercial land and make it into a low-income area. Do
you have any areas in mind for that?
No,
I know this is hypothetical.
No, I don't. I would have to, if I'm mayor, I would have to look at that.
Do you feel that, I'm not going to keep harping on the same hypothetical project, but do you feel that, is there a role that both cities could play in, whether it's housing development or other projects? I guess what I'm saying is, do you look at this community as more like 2 cities, 1 community, or 2 different entities that don't have anything in common or don't work together well? Well,
I've been here for 13 years.
Right.
And all you hear is College Station, College Station, College Station. So that, to me, Bryan, that's another city. No one wants to deal with that. And everybody's saying about, I was at some little meeting the other day, and the one guy, he was running for mayor for Bryan.
Okay.
And he was saying about, College Station has all these parks, so they're going to change their name to Park Place. I'm like, man, that's about it. But there's no coordination with both cities at all. I think You got College Station City Hall wants to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
Leave Brian alone. But you both mayors need to sit down and see what they can do for each community as one. Teamwork.
Okay. How would that look in practice? Do you have any ideas? Is that something that you're
That's what I would like to do.
Okay.
But right now, I don't think both mayors or anybody else would want to sit down and willing to do anything.
Yeah.
But there has to be a time that you have to sit down and do it yourself and get the ball moving.
Right. So have you followed any of the, I guess, issues going on at City Hall lately? Are there anything that you're following closely because you care about them? Some things come to mind. I don't know if you heard about the Macy's project.
Oh yes, I heard about that. That's what I'm getting. Wasteful spending.
That's how you see it.
That's what the City Council of College Station does. Wasteful spending. They got this like bond coming up in the November 8 election. I think there's like maybe 5 or 6 items. They broke it down, and one of them's a fire station. That's like $13 million. But I'm against that because there's fire stations around College Station that is understaffed. So I would take some of that money and hire more fire stations to get them up to where they're supposed to be 100%. Because right now the firefighters are getting forced overtime. Hey, they do their 8 hours. Yeah, overtime is a little bit okay, but you get forced overtime, you don't spend time with your family and everything else. That's wrong.
So you're saying personnel over new facilities. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And you can update any equipment and everything else there.
Okay.
Because if you build another fire station, you're back in the same boat. How are you going to staff that? It's the same as the prison system was. They would build a maximum security prison somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and they would have trouble with staffing it. Who wants to go there? No. I mean, throughout the whole United States, the prison system had the same thing. Now, I was at a facility that was 100% staff and everything else, but I've been at other institutions that you got forced overtime, and people didn't like that too well. Overtime was good, but you getting forced overtime 5 days a week or something, like, nah, that's it. And then they got parks and everything else. They did, and Macy's, that was like, I think almost $6 million. What, the city council going to be into real estate now? Nah, they shouldn't be at all. And I heard there's other developers that wanted that, but they didn't sell it to them because they were under the asking price. So,
wow. So it sounds like you weren't a fan of that decision.
Oh, no, I was not a fan. When I heard that, I'm like, there you go, wasteful spending. If you want the same, then you vote for them. If you want new ideas or solutions in that, then you vote for me.
Okay. So, I guess, we've talked about what you stand against, but I don't feel like we've totally heard any specific priority of something that you want to create or something that you want to do besides the cooperation. Do you have any specific ideas, goals? Where do you want to be if you're elected in a couple of years? The goal
I want is to lower the property tax.
Okay.
I want to make schools more safe and neighborhoods more safe. And then also I want to invest in the community. That's bringing other jobs, like maybe high-tech jobs, into the community.
Okay. Very cool.
That's my goal. But the number one goal is to lower the property tax.
Okay.
Because as a mayor, I'm I'm not going to go for raising any taxes at all while I'm in.
Okay. As far as bringing in businesses, you mentioned high-tech sector. How would you do that?
Contact these high techs. I mean, you got Tulsa that came into Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they didn't just show up. I guarantee someone from the governor's
Sure.
office or something contact them. Hey, why don't you come to Austin, Texas?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we should be doing here. Contacting like Boeing, Raytheon, they're all over the place and everything else. And contact them. Hey, would you like to come to College Station? We got land here. Well, they're doing Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon doing those drones and that.
Are they? Yeah, I had heard something about that.
Well, I think that's good. I think that was good in that. But you got to contact these companies. They're not going to be like, they'll be looking for places. But if you contact them directly, hey, I heard that you're going to be leaving Minnesota or something. Mm-hmm. Why don't you come down here in College Station and check out this land we have and everything else, and we can talk.
Would you be willing to give these companies like tax breaks, economic incentives, like a lot of cities do? Because a lot of times it's a bidding war. It's where do you want to go? Do you want to go to College Station or somewhere else? Well, we'll give you less taxes for X number of years. Where do you stand on that kind of thing?
That would have to be worked out between. Yeah, I can't say, well, I'm going to give you a tax break of this many years. I would have to sit down with them and work stuff out. Maybe a little tax break, but not for years and that now.
So I know we've talked a lot about taxes, but, a big chunk of the school system is funded by those property taxes that you talked about. Have you given any thought to what can be done to make sure that College Station's kids aren't shortchanged if you're successful in cutting taxes the way you'd like?
Well, I mean, if you got a revenue, let's say $5 million to the good, well, why can't you take like maybe $750,000 of that to lower property taxes? Mm-hmm. Then you got all that other money left over and everything. So that's what I would do. I would look at the budget. And, I mean, you got people coming into College Station every day. New people coming in. So you don't need to raise no taxes. You got the revenue coming and all that. So you're always in the green, I would call it. So I would look at that budget, what's in the green, and take some of that to lower the taxes. Okay. So no school, College Station is going to be cut short at all.
Okay. What other issues or areas are you hoping to, affect if you're mayor? Have we been over everything?
I think I would take the North Gate.
Okay.
The Northgate area, I hear there's quite a bit of problems and all that down there. So I would have to get with the police chief for College Station, plus the Texas A&M University and all that.
Yeah.
And put like more officers and all that down there throughout the week.
Okay.
Because I think there's like gangs, a lot of gangs down there.
Really?
So yes. And that's the job of the College Station police, the gang unit or something, to get these people, if they cause any trouble, get them off the street.
Yeah. All that costs money and taxes.
Well, but raise the fines up and everything else.
Okay. Do you have any ideas or I guess collaboration that you're thinking of doing with the university? Because for a lot of years, I've heard people, I think I heard the former police chief of College Station talking about how one challenge that College Station has to overcome all the time is that right in the center of the city, or north center of the city, there's a big chunk of land called Texas A&M that doesn't pay any taxes. And so they have to, you have to calculate for that, and you really have to work strongly with the university. Do you have any plans as far as working with the university since it's right there?
Oh, I mean, Texas A&M is part of College Station,
right.
So you don't just pick and choose who you want to talk to. You have to talk to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Police chiefs,
sure,
even the president of Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's involved, and I would like to get like a meeting, like a monthly meeting with all the leaders and all that in College Station. Could be at City Hall. It could be at Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
It could be sometimes at the police station or some fire station or something like that. And sit down and talk and see what the problems are, and then we can resolve them.
Okay. Well, I guess, is there anything else you wanted to add, or how can people watching this get in touch with you or your campaign or anything else?
I got a Facebook, Rick Robison for mayor of College Station. I go on that Facebook there, or you can contact me at rrobison, RROBISON 63 at yahoo.com.
Okay.
And I will answer all questions in ASAP.
All right. Well, Mr. Robison, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on Think Brazos, and good luck.
Well, thank you.